Hi, everyone. Most of us are not living in intention, we're living in reaction. And what I mean by that is, do you find yourself waking up in the morning and rushing around and scarfing your food down and not really taking a moment to pause and just exist? That 100% used to be me and still me at some times before I make myself pause and stop. So prior to my cancer diagnosis, I would spring up in the morning, run, shower, get dressed, get ready, run to the gym, run back, make my breakfast. While also making my breakfast, I was also cleaning up after making my breakfast. And I saw that all as being super productive, which in some ways I guess it is. But what I didn't realize is that was keeping my cortisol and everything heightened and just really pulling me out of balance energetically, physically, mentally, in all the ways, right? Like it's not ever just one thing. It's often tied to everything. So my body was learning to just constantly be in a state of reaction. So that's also a state of survival, right? If I'm always reacting and I'm always ready to fight off anything, I'm just constantly living in that space, and my body can never deregulate and can never come down from that. And if and when it does, it's probably for such short periods of time that it doesn't really make a difference. So even in those times where I might be less, my body isn't any less. So after cancer, it really forced me to come back and question, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I waking up at the time I'm waking up? Yes, I've always done it. Okay, fine, but that's not a reason to continue to do something. Why am I, choosing the workouts that I'm choosing the durations that I'm choosing? What are my goals? Maybe the goal and the purpose of why I chose what I chose 7 years ago is no longer the goal that is my current reality of now. And more than likely, it's not, right? If we're being super honest. So, all of that to say, we should constantly be questioning who we are in the moment and why we're doing what we're doing and where the root of that decision came from, right? So, a super generic example, could be my gym training. And I use that because it's super relatable for most people. I chose a coach that I chose to work out with. Prior to that, I did CrossFit. I wanted a coach to do, zero in on, I wanted to get stronger. Then once I got stronger, I was like, oh, I kind of want to do more fitnessy stuff and really focus on the aesthetic of it. After cancer, I said, I just want to be strong and I don't want to have any more or less. I just want to be me, but strong and feminine and all the things. So literally in a 2-year period, I went full circle, but not to come back to the same spot that I was at. And it was just in that I was just questioning, why am I doing this, right? There used to be joy, but now there's not joy. So the same can be said for career. You can literally be doing a career that you've done for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and one day decide, I don't want to do this anymore. And that is normal and that is okay. And the issue with society and the way things are is we're conditioned to think that no, you pick one, you choose, and you see it through until the end of retirement. And that's one way to do it and one way to live, and for some people that works. But for me, it's just if it's not in alignment and it's causing me to feel again deregulated and that I'm in a survival mode, or that I'm just doing shit that I don't want to do. Who wants to live like that? Life is too short and life is too grand. The wind agrees with me that we should be doing everything that's truly in alignment. So for me, that goes to when I wake up in the morning. The alarm goes off. If I'm still tired, I'm going to snooze and I'm going to sleep until I'm not tired. Why? Because I'm listening to my body, and my body's saying sleep matters more than, getting 20 minutes extra in the gym. For me now, who I am in my season. When I have my breakfast, I like to cook and I go slowly, and I like to sit, and I like to present it, and I like to eat, because it takes time to chew my food and to digest. And then I also know when I'm truly full and I'm not just shoving down for the sake of hitting macros or for the sake of, getting X amount of protein, right? I believe that I need to eat until I'm satisfied. And when I'm satisfied, I'm done. And when I'm hungry again, I eat again. And I think that we need to go back to being more human versus these weird programs and weird, definitive, it has to be this, it has to be that. Because when you really pull it back, a lot of these things aren't based on anything. And if you really pull it back, a lot of them are just based on marketing techniques to make you buy, consume, eat, spend more money, right? That's really what it boils down to. You don't need a protein powder to consume protein. You don't need to hit X amount of protein goals to achieve what you're trying to achieve, yeah, sure, maybe bodybuilding and all of that, but I'm not talking about that, because the average person is not doing that. And we get attached to narratives and things that pull us off of our center because we're chasing something that's just not in alignment. So, for me, it's slower mornings. It's being intentional about why I'm doing something. And if you really look into your intention and you're like, I need to hit my 200 grams of protein, a day because X, Y, and Z, and that resonates with you and that's intentional for you, that's perfect. But I guarantee there's a huge subset of people who are just doing it because they don't know why. And I urge you to be able to understand and explain to yourself why. Don't need to explain to me. I don't care. It's just about being a conscious participant in our lives. So wake up when you want to wake up, go to the gym, do whatever modality you want to do, but often and many and often, much and often, I don't know what I'm saying, always ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing, and can you do it differently, and can you let it go, right? There's some things are, out of season and we shouldn't do them anymore. So I encourage you to be slower, be more intentional, and to maybe let something go and maybe invite something in.